Thank you for watching this video on Britannica and virtual learning. This tutorial will demonstrate how our resource LaunchPacks can be used to provide a remote alternative to traditional classroom assignments. LaunchPack comes in many forms. You can switch between humanities and social sciences and science. And the third form is our GCSE History and Geography bundle, which just launched in January. But for today, I'm going to focus on science. Both students and educators can see all of the different types of science LaunchPack that we have by scrolling. They can also filter by key stage, by category, or doing a search. I'm just going to choose this pack here. So within a launch pack, you'll see there's lots of different types of content. We have articles in blue, videos in red, and images in pink. I can see this launch pack itself. I can customize. So again, students or teachers can do this. You can add a note to the pack to customize it. So when you open this pack, you'll see a little bit of text, a bit of information. It might be an exam due date or something you've spoken about in class. You can also add these notes to either the videos or the images. I think there's one down here that there's a pre-done Britannica one, but you can add your own to that as well. You can also upload your own documents. So this might be past papers, worksheets, etc. We can add external links. So anything like, I don't know, YouTube, any BBC News articles, anything that you find online that's relevant, you can add as an external link into this pack and it will sit as another tile, like these ones. We have a mixture of graphic organisers in LaunchPacks as well. So these are really great ways to shoehorn numeracy and literacy into your subjects. We can see things like Venn diagrams, and they are just blank templates to be used versatilely across all subjects. And at the bottom here, we do have the option to add a Kahoot quiz as well. We also have the option to add an activity into this pack. So I can add a learning strategy to either one resource in this pack. So I might want a summary of an article, a specific article, or any of these other options. Or I could actually add a question set to the entire pack of information. So you can add some critical thinking into here, some reflection if you want to use it for revision. There are the option to add custom questions in here as well. You can also favourite any launch pack to come back to it later, or assign it. I should have mentioned when using LaunchPacks, you have to sign in twice, once as an institution and a second time to identify you as an individual. Once all of your students and all of your teachers are signed up, your teaching staff can then create virtual classrooms and assign work to them. So in this case, we have a customized LaunchPack with a few activities in it. I can give it a name, add some instructions in here, select a due date, let's say next week, and put it in a class. So I might have a specific class that I want to complete this subject by. I can assign it, and then that will go off as a notification to them. This is what they'll see. And that goes off as a student activity pack. The last thing to note here is we also have the option to send this. So I can either schedule it into my calendar really easily by dragging it into the day that I want to start this. Obviously, working virtually, it's really important to have that best practice across your faculty, making sure everyone starts the same things at the same time. And actually, we can email this as well. So again, really easy to email to your colleagues and to any students where relevant as well. So going back to the launch pack now, we can click on an article and I can show you how they work. So once within an article, we can double click on any word and get the definition of that word. When working virtually, obviously there's a lot of distractions for the students. So this is one way to keep them engaged. We can increase and decrease the font size, print it, cite it. We also have a selection of citation styles to match your school's needs. That can then be copied and pasted, so that actually formats the citation for the students. And we also have the ability to translate. We translate into 100 different languages, so whichever is most relevant for your school. Nice and simple. We also have the ability to hover over any sentence and get that sentence back to us in the original English. So we have the option to side-by-side translate there. Again, when working virtually, when working from home, parents might want to get more involved, and this is a really easy way to make sure they can. We can take an excerpt of one specific part of this article if I wanted to kind of do a deep dive into one section, and I can also have it read aloud to me. It narrates it in yellow, so you have the option there for your dyslexic students to help them keep them engaged. Really also very nice for any students who would rather read along, any reluctant readers, and anyone taking notes. At the top here, next to article, we have the option to annotate. Really lovely for both your teachers and your students. It's something they can both do. If you highlight a word, a phrase, or a sentence, a little pencil comes up. Click it, start typing in your note, and you can also categorize that as well. We have a lovely array of color coordinated sections for you there. If you notice, they actually kind of do relate to higher order thinking. The ones at the bottom are slightly more challenging, connections, summaries, things like that. So you can actually differentiate your class by giving them an annotate assignment and splitting them up into different colours. Also lovely for your teachers if they wanted to go and pre-annotate an essay. It means that when the students read the article, they'll already have them critical thinking prompts, them hooks, as they're going through. We also have the option here to download all of our annotations. That will put our quotation or whatever we've highlighted next to our phrase or quote or note, whatever we've put next to it. So that's a really nice revision tool, just as a one-sided sheet of paper. And we can obviously email that as well. Next to that, we have the ability to add an activity, as I said, to this direct article. We had that option at the start anyway, but it's here as well. And the last thing on Britannica that you know is we always have the option to increase or decrease the reading level. So if I clicked up to Key Stage 4, the article itself will get harder. Our articles are written by our own in-house editorial team, and they are mapped to the curriculum. So you'll see the sentence structure and the vocab changes in accordance with the difficulty of the article. Brilliant. So I'm just going to pop into this area up here that says UK Team School. That would be your school name in the instance of your account. It says that I'm a teacher. As I said at the beginning, it's really important that you do identify whether you're a teacher or a student because you do get a slightly different experience, especially around the activities, obviously. Under my LaunchPacks, I can see anything that I've edited and I've made changes to. So any of those packs that I've customized, you can see here. Any I've favorited and any I've annotated as well. So it's a really nice way to be able to find the information as it becomes relevant. Underneath that, we can see all of the activities that I've set for my class, both in science and in humanities and social sciences. So I have the option there to flip between the two. Under classes, I can actually see not only who is in my class and how many classes I have, but I can actually manage them as well. So in the example of this one here, there will be a class code that I can send to my students to add them to it, and I can actually send them a direct link as well. If I had all of the students' data, I could upload this and email it directly to them. I can then see my schedule, so any of the packs that I've set to be started on a specific day. For example, that one there is due to start tomorrow. And I can export that to whatever calendar I use. So I could either have that on my Apple Calendar, Outlook, even if you had a shared team calendar, that could go on there as well. So we also have the option to look at our account settings as well. Brilliant. So I hope you can see how this will be really, really useful for students to use at home. And thank you so much for listening. If you have any questions, get in touch with the team. Thanks.